talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane, it's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, ooh, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes. I take shots to the top, I'll get it. I got one life, I'ma do all to win it. I do what's gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change, slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
All right, guys. Happy Friday, September 13th, 2024. Welcome to the show. Let me get our guest in here and we will get started here momentarily. Let's see who we got here. The monkey tamer himself. Mediocre, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good this weekend, baby.
Happy Friday. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, man.
I need to run to the store tomorrow because this was all I could scrub up. One of my wife's drinks, strawberry margarita flavored malt beverage. It's not even that good, mediocre.
I mean, I'm drinking a blueberry beer, so what do you want? that's what it is.
Yeah, I see a couple of y'all sharing your winning plays of the week. Drop them in the chat. We want to see them. We're going to talk about one tonight. While we're waiting folks to come in, mediocre, can we go through a little bit of news and then we'll get into the topic of this video. So other than the topic of this video, do you have any news? I've got some things here, but I'm going to let you go first. If you have anything that you want to share.
I mean, I don't really have much other than what I'm expecting. You know what I mean? I haven't really looked at any news. I was waiting for some news to drop. Let me check and see if it dropped real quick since I'm here.
That's related to the ticker we're going to discuss here in a few, ASTS.
Yeah, I just want to see if they dropped it real quick. I don't think that they did, though. Oh, that's the wrong site. This one. Let's see, refresh. See if they dropped it. I said they might. It's 9:00. So
yeah, if they didn't drop it by what time were we? What time were we always watching for the cutoff of Edgar? When we were doing the AMC watch, it was 6 o'clock, I think, like 2 hours after market closed. So
it did not drop.
If they haven't dropped it now, you're not going to get it. All right,
nope.
Let's talk about a couple things. So this week, obviously, we had GameStop earnings. I had Markets with May on for a live this week. If you guys didn't catch that, she brought some interesting additional ideas to the table. We don't know, guys. Everybody has different opinions about what's going on with GameStop. I think fostering discussion is good so that, what do we always talk about, mediocre? Uncovering every possibility so that we have the best information as we're thinking about a trade, right?
That's exactly right, because information is the most important thing in trading that I've come to realize, right? Like it's crazy how much information is. And I shared a video in my Discord a while back about I can't remember the guy's name, but I'll go back and find the video, but he was talking about information and why retail fails, and it's exactly that. They don't have the information.
They get locked into one way of thinking about a play, and they're unwilling to consider what I call like a fishbone analysis. Like, you've got an end goal, you've got a something that you'd like to happen, but you need to draw the fishbone to uncover what are the possibilities that could get us to whatever is going to happen at the end. There, right? You got your path that you're going to travel down, but you have all these possible inputs, and the path, where you end up might not be exactly where you think. And I think it is dangerous, guys, to have one foregone conclusion about how things are going to end. It's fine to have a theory about how things are going to end, but I think it is healthy and good to have discussion about possibilities so that, wow, I never thought of that. Let me see if I have a contingency plan for that, if that's the case. And it upsets people. It makes them, what's the word? Defensive.
Irrational.
It makes them want to attack you if you're willing to have discussion. And we don't hide here from discussion or critical thinking about plays. We want to expose as many of the potential ways that something could go down so that we're all thinking about it. So thank you, May, for sharing your thoughts. We don't know whether she's going to be right or not, but it's one more thing to think about for GameStop, that reverse merger thesis. And if you want to know more about that, go watch the live stream on my channel or May's, where she kind of lays out her thoughts. May does not follow GameStop closely, Mediocre, but she reports just about daily on every single company out there that's doing earnings calls. And she has a great analytical capability to look at a much wider net than we're looking at.
Plus, I think she has good information.
She has good analysis skills. She can spot things that we're not used to.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I listen to what she has to say. I don't take everything that one person says. I listen to a lot of stuff, and I look and do my own research at the same time.
That's the thing. Always do your own DD, draw your own conclusions, but be willing to listen to different sources of input. I think that's a healthy thing.
Yeah.
And for some reason, people hate us for having discussion, but Mediocre, they hate us because they ain't us.
I mean, you hate me, I don't care, but
we don't
I'm
care.
In the market to make money.
We're going to continue bringing healthy discussion to the people. No echo chambers here. All right.
What we want. If somebody's got a question, we'll try to answer it to the best of our
ability. I want to share my screen here, Mediocre, because we got some reverse split news to talk about.
I'm excited about that too, because I think that's funny.
It is funny. So here we have Mullen. Now let's just start off by saying Mullen is not on my recommended list. I know there's a lot of pumpers out there pumping Mullen, but we've gone over the financials of this company many, many times. It's basically not earning any revenue, and it's an EV startup, and EV startups burn through money like it's going out of style. So just because I'm talking about something, guys, don't you go out in there and make them videos saying Tony's pumping it. A lot of people, Mediocre, love to twist. Oh, Tony talked about Bed Bath & Beyond. Tony talked about Mullen. He was pumping it. Actually, go watch my content instead of doing your little Monday morning quarterbacking, and you'll see I never pumped Mullen. I've never pumped Bed Bath & Beyond. I provided coverage to bring information to folks. So I just want to get that out of the way, because I know what's going to happen, Mediocre. These dummies are going to say, oh, he was talking about Mullen, therefore he's pumping it. And I think they do that, Mediocre, just to mislead their audience.
But people ask us questions about all kinds of different
Absolutely.
stuff.
We talk about whatever the questions are about there, out there. And mostly what I talk about, Mediocre, is I talk about the tickers that have the most misinformation.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Tony, is you and I talk about opinion, right? Like it's our opinion of what we think of something, right? There's no financial advice. I'm just giving you what I think if I talk about something, right?
Yep.
So I don't understand that we're not allowed to have an opinion about something.
Not if somebody disagrees with it, mediocre. You're not allowed to have a different opinion.
Whatever.
Oh,
So
man,
you
let me
tell
put
me
the
I don't live in the United States and I don't have free speech. Is that what you're trying to tell me, Tony?
That's what they're trying to tell you. You should
Oh
just shut
God.
up. Unless you have a Mullen tattoo, mediocre, you're not allowed to talk about it. You're not qualified unless you got a.
I like
mean,
that
I
one.
was going to say unless you went drunk and went out and got a tattoo, but apparently now people are getting tattoos sober, mediocre. I don't even understand it.
Yeah.
Anyways, Mullen announced today a 1-for-100 reverse split. I think this is their fourth one this year. Fourth
Yes.
reverse split.
I don't get it.
So here's the noteworthy thing. I'm going to say again, reverse splits are not bad. What is he talking about? Every stock that has a reverse split goes down. Guys, you got to look at why are they going down?
Yeah, what is the reason that caused them to go down? What was the reason that caused them to have to do a reverse split in the first place?
Whether or not it was a reverse split or a forward split, the act of the split, the corporate action, is zero proportional change to your ownership. It's irrelevant. However, and nobody ever listens to the however from Tony Denaro, you must understand what? The financial statements.
Exactly.
Any communication from management that perhaps they need to raise money.
You need to read the filings.
You need to read the damn filings because, number one, they're probably doing a reverse split because something's not so hot in the financials. It's, push them down below $1. And number two, they need to get that price back up so they can continue raising money. And maybe they need to raise money. I'm not going to criticize Mullen for needing to raise money.
They fiduciary duty for one.
Yeah, mediocre. I watched David
People
Mishery.
Not like that, Tony.
I watched. Oh yeah, it's that fiduciary duty.
Yeah.
Fiduciary duty. I watched.
Say that Mullen has a fiduciary duty to
not go bankrupt.
Exactly. That's what I said.
Now, I don't think David Mishery is a good guy, but he did say on an interview, and I watched this interview years ago. He said, we chose a different strategy with Mullen. You see all these other EV companies loading up on debt, billions of dollars of debt to get started. And we decided we didn't want to be burdened with that. We wanted to tap the equity markets, mediocre, for our funding.
I love it.
What does that tell you guys? It means
I don't
be diluted because that's their strategy.
I don't love that companies tap the equity market. I just love the saying because it's a nice way of saying dilution.
But people don't listen when the CEO is telling you we're not going to raise money by raising debt. By the way, they can't raise money because nobody's going to loan Mullen any money. But they said early on, very clearly, I heard it with my own ears, we're going to fund the company by tapping the equity market. So you should have known if you were in Mullen that you were going to be diluted to hell if they didn't crank up some immediate revenue. And that's why they keep on getting run down in price. We got a lot of things going on here. We got no revenue. We got spiraling expenses far exceeding that revenue. So you've got losses every single quarter, massive losses, and the company continuing to need to raise cash and then do these reverse splits. So it just is what it is. But I just want to draw that distinction, mediocre, because I know it's going to make some of the crybabies in the audience mad, the trolls, not my faithful viewers. You guys get it. A reverse split doesn't do anything. It's the dilution that the company is needing to do because they either have losses or no revenue that kills your price.
Actually, Tony, I've been noticing that this chat has been getting smarter and smarter and smarter. I've noticed.
They have.
So kudos.
The other fun thing that we're going to talk about here, and this I just want to be clear. This is not financial advice. Do not follow this. What we're going to talk about here. Some of us are doing, it could work out awful. Your broker could shut down your account for doing this.
Yep.
You could be audited by the IRS. The government could come raid your front door and kick it in. I'm just saying. I'm just going to tell you something we're doing for laughs, but
For
this
fun.
is not
Funny.
This is not trading advice. And
Yeah.
for all I know, your account's going to get shut down. So don't try this at home, kids. But we noticed some people talking on social media, and I noticed in this press release here, it says no fractional shares will be issued in connection with the reverse split. Normally, you guys know when a reverse split happens, especially like a 1 for 100, if you have less than 100 shares, they'll just mail you a check. If you have fractional shares, you're not going to have, if you have less than 100, you're not going to have one share on the 17th of September. They're going to deposit some money in your account. But Mullen, being the cheap bastards that they are, they don't want to spend any money. And apparently shares are going out of style. Shares are being handed out like they're going out of style, mediocre.
Yeah.
So they say we're not going to deal with fractional shares in this split. All fractional shares will be rounded up to the nearest whole share. Now, English was not my first language, mediocre.
No.
I'm just throwing another.
I'm
throwing another trick out there. Throwing another trick out there for the haters. Tony Denaro announces English is not his first language. He's a shill. He was brought in from Canada.
It seemed pretty clear to me. Pretty clear English.
What does this mean? Here's how we're reading this, guys. You could own one share of Mullen today, and it will be rounded up to one share at the 1 for 100 price on September 17th. So guess what I did? I went out and bought one share for a couple pennies. One. Tony, why didn't you buy 10? Because it doesn't matter. Well, it's going to be rounded up to 1 after the split. Now, what is the price going to be after the split? It's going to be 100 times whatever the closing price was the night before the split. So whether that's $9, $13, $17, I don't know, but I think I'll probably be okay, mediocre, if I go 17 cents to $17 or 17 cents to $13.
That's a massive gain.
It's a free Big Mac meal, mediocre.
That's right.
This is not going to be anything we're bragging about. It's going to be something we're going to be laughing about, though.
Yeah, we're laughing.
Now,
but the percentage gain though really is huge, Tony.
The percentage gain is huge. Traders make what is that like a 10,000, 9,000% gain. Yeah. So that's out there. Hang on one second.
Roll the dice, baby. See what happens. What the hell?
Hang on one second.
You got it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what?
Looks like Scarlett's coming home, but that's not good because she's supposed to be at work right now. Ooh. I might have to go on mute for a second. Let's talk about box office.
Yeah, that's a good topic.
We are at quarterly right now. We're on the 13th, so we got about how many days left here? 2 weeks and 3 days. 2.3 billion on the box office. Hang on one second, mediocre.
Absolutely. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. Somebody says they don't make vehicles, talking about Mullen. Marco, where can you find the financial statements? All right, so financial statements on a company's website usually. You can go to FinViz, a good website. I like to use FinViz. If you just Google financial put the ticker in of the company, and put the ticker into Google and search for, say, AMC financial statements, stuff like that. It'll pop up websites like Fintel, like Finviz, stuff like that. Go look there. What else? Another place you could look for financial stuff, like filings. SCC Edgar, we use that. That's that's the SEC. So that all your filings that come out are going to go to the SEC. So people pull data from the SEC when they're like for specific companies. Like say you're waiting on news for a company, people find ways to get that directly, right? I think there might be a pay service for that. Don't quote me on that, but we use that. We use a dilution tracker. Tell you, it'll give you news and information on that. But your broker also, some of your brokers will supply news. Mine supplies news, but I don't always listen to it because some of it's crazy, in my opinion. Welcome back, Tony.
All right, I'm back. Did you talk about box office? Sorry, I was talking to the wife.
No, I was reading questions.
Okay.
Questions.
So 2.33 billion. We got 17 days left. We need 2.45 billion for break even on the AMC. This week I went and saw let me pull up the calendar here. Let's do it that way. Upcoming movies for this weekend, we got Usher. We're watching that tomorrow. We have Speak No Evil is out this weekend with James McAvoy. He was famous for, what was he? He played Dr. X. He was in a movie back in the day called Atonement. Great actor, maybe one of his best roles. I highly recommend this movie to you. It is really, really good.
Is there a movie called My Old Ass? Is that movie right there? Oh, God, I got to see that.
Yeah, My Old Ass is out. The Killer's Game with Dave Bautista is out. That's on my list for next week. I always skip over this one because I don't know who this guy is. But Am I Racist? A comedy documentary. Someone said, Tony, why aren't you talking about this one? I don't know anything about it. But I need to watch the trailer, I guess. Blazing Saddles is out for 2 different dates. If you're a fan, if you've never seen it, go freaking watch it. Great movie. Harvey Korman, Gene Wilder, and Cleveland Little. And then we have The Matrix 25th anniversary coming up on the 19th. And then we get into the big finish for the month with Transformers 1 and The Wild Robot. So I think we're still tracking very well to my expectation of finishing this quarter between 2.4 and 2.6 billion.
How do our numbers look as far as being profitable? Do you know?
In my conservative spreadsheet for AMC, we got to have domestic box office around 2.45 billion. The number could, I'm picking one number. Normally I give you guys a range. So I'm trying to pick a safe number. I think 2.45 is a safe number on domestic box office, that anything above that should be a profit. Okay.
How we looking? We looking good, baby?
Yeah.
We'll make it.
We need 100 million in 17 days. Should be very easy.
That's what we're here, Tony.
We're in a bit of a lull right now, until the big movies. So go see some of these smaller movies like Speak No Evil and some of those other ones I just talked about. I also watched Reagan today with Dennis Quaid.
I watched that old fart movie, I think.
Yeah, if you were alive during the Reagan years, or you're a fan of Reagan, you'll probably like the movie. Other than that, I think most of the people that wanted to see it already have seen it. That's my thought. It's really hard to see here. We got 3 theaters and they've cut it down to like noon showings at the farthest away theater. Mediocre. It's almost like they're trying to suppress the Reagan movie.
No, yeah.
Remember that funny conversation about
I too.
They're trying to suppress it. How about nobody's watching it and there's other movies that are making money? But if you get a chance to go see it, go support it while it's still out there. If you like old Ronnie, old Dutch.
I don't know. That's why people say stuff like AMC suppressing this or that. Why would they suppress any chance to make money, Tony?
Yeah, I busted another big lie out there yesterday too. Remember that $31 drink, the Sandworm Slayer?
What's
AMC was
that?
advertising this drink for
Were they?
Beetlejuice, and somebody tweeted last week, "I just paid $31 for a drink at AMC," and that's all
No.
he said. No receipt, no location. I paid $31 for a drink. Yep. And of course, the press did what? They went wild. AMC's ripping people off nationwide. $31 is crazy. No wonder no one's going to a movie. Mediocre. I went to a damn movie last night and I bought that same drink, the large, the double. And I said, "What is the premium liquor that you put in that?" And I put it in my photo. They showed me the bottles. 3 ounces in a double, 24-ounce drink. You know how much it was, Mediocre? $17.99.
And it had 3 ounces of alcohol in it?
Yes, premium,
Okay,
top shelf alcohol.
Okay,
That's
so
a pretty damn good deal, actually.
Exactly.
So I don't know what state this gentleman was from, or if even he was telling the truth, because he posted no receipt. I posted my receipt. And you know what we say, Mediocre, here?
What's that?
If the glove don't fit, you must quit. No receipt, no proof. That's what we say. So anyhow, I thought that was funny. $17.99, not no $31 damn dollars. You lying some bitch. I don't know what state he's in that charges 2x for alcohol tax.
I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know. I didn't even know they made that drink, so I gotta go check it out now.
I still prefer a draft beer, personally.
Yeah.
All right, let me see what comments we have here, and then we'll go into talking about ASTS.
I'm excited for the chat. That's what I'm excited for, Tony.
Yeah. Corey Jones says, "Do you think Virgin Galactic will go bankrupt?" Haven't looked at them, Corey, but remind me after we talk about ASTS, and we will pull up some other tickers that you guys are interested in. Sly says, "You should thank May every chance you get for the info she passes along for free with her experience." I agree with you, Sly. May does a fantastic job, and for whatever reason, she gets a lot of hate. But, most of the people that don't like May, I've never seen them properly analyze anything in their life. And so I think they just feel threatened by, probably number one, threatened by females. And number two, threatened by females that might be smarter than them. But number three, threatened by her just breadth of experience. She's not here to shill on anything. She's trying to share some high-level analysis on plays on dozens or hundreds of tickers a month.
I just don't understand why people think that there's actual paid shill. I don't. It blows my mind. People actually think this shit. I don't get it.
I don't know. She didn't really have anything bad to say about GameStop, for example. She just said,
I don't think
it
she ever
looks
talked
like
bad.
it looks like, based on the financial statements, that they might be setting it up as a reverse shell candidate. She didn't say this is definitely going to happen. She just, this is my DD. All right, everybody has DD. Let's share it. Let's talk about it.
I think she's the least controversial person out there. Like, she doesn't go out there looking for controversy. Like, she's just giving you her ideas. That's what I think.
There's a lot of supposed alpha males out there, Mediocre, who cannot handle an intelligent female, especially when she's smarter than them. That's all I'm going to say. I appreciate having people on this channel smarter than me. I think that one of the biggest values we can do on this channel is bring smart people for you guys to hear different opinions. What's up, Mediocre?
Are you sure they're alpha males?
Well, if you say you're an alpha male, you're probably not one. That much I know.
Exactly, Tony. Exactly.
Uh, User one says, how do you think AMC stock would do if we headed into a recession, but they made 300 to 400 million a year in profit?
Hold on,
I've
Tony. Before we
seen,
move on, hang on. I got one more question for you.
yeah,
How many alpha males you know live in their daddy's basement?
not one mediocre, not a single one.
I didn't think so.
Also, if you're an alpha male, you control your family. They don't control you, but that's another story. User one says, if we are headed in a recession, could AMC make 300 to 400 million a year in profit? That would assume that people go to the movies in a recession, and we have seen that just the industry moving towards higher priced tickets, more luxury experience. But there are people that I respect and believe that have looked up information that said during recessions, people tend to go to movies just for something to do. I haven't looked into that data myself. So I'm just going to say that information's out there that people go to movies during recessions, but I'm also going to say, does
I
that
tread
does that
lightly.
change? Does that change as movies get more expensive? I don't know. So that's my first thought. What
I
mediocre?
I was basically agreeing with you. Like, I know that's what like a lot of the articles and stuff are out there. Like, movie theaters typically do well. I read that same stuff, but I would say I'd play with caution. That's just
Yeah,
me.
that's not a talking point of mine. I'm just saying other people I respect have shared that from previous data, and it probably was true from previous data. I guess if we have another recession, we'll get another data point, but it's not something I spend a lot of time talking about. But to the second part of his question, uh, what would happen to AMC stock if they're making 300 or 400 million a year in profit? Obviously, if we're making 300 or 400 million a year in profit, then I would expect the stock price to go up because that is a major shift. And it doesn't matter regarding the recession or not. If a company's earning profits, you can derive a price target off of that. So do your little calculations for a reasonable PE ratio. I'll just throw take your annual profit, divide it by the number of shares, and then multiply that times 25. That'll give you a rough price target. All right. Marco says, where can you find the financial statements? You can find financial statements, Marco, and I don't know what ticker you're talking about, but on a company's investor relations page or on SEC Edgar, which is their site for looking up the financial statements. Yunhua Stevens says Mullen doesn't even make vehicles. They buy them from China. That is true. They buy vehicles from China, about 90% built, and then rebadge them. They put a little bit of their own tech in it. I don't know if I don't know if they swap out the battery, but they put in an airbag, I think, and a badge on the front. And that's an interesting model. I mean, it doesn't require as much startup money to rebadge a Chinese vehicle. So I think that's why they gravitated towards that model to try and get started. But good Lord, man, it's taken them a long time to get here, and they're still not selling any vehicles. So my hope, if you're a Mullen investor and you believe in Mullen, is that they start selling some vehicles. That'll help you a little bit. All right, let's shift now into talking about the title of this live stream. And this is going to be a short live stream tonight, guys, because it's Friday night and Mediocre and I both have stuff to do. But AST Space Mobile, ticker ASTS, was brought up on this live stream a week ago.
Yes, sir.
At the end of the live stream, we always ask you guys, what tickers are you, are you watching? What are you interested in? And you guys always throw them out in the chat, and we'll pull a few of them up and do a quick, like a 2 to 5 minute analysis of it, which sometimes whets our appetite to look into it more, which we did on this one.
Absolutely.
And Mediocre, do you want to reveal the name just to remind everybody who brought this up? And let's give him a kudo.
I did.
ASTS.
Cheers, Broke Ape. Appreciate
Broke Ape.
the ticker.
Let's give him a round of applause, Mediocre.
Appreciate that.
All right. Broke Ape brought up ASTS. You can go back and watch our live stream towards the end on September 5th, about a week ago, where we went through 3 different ticker symbols that folks were bringing up.
Which all were good, by the way. They were all pretty good.
Yeah, they were all pretty good, which is, again, guys, the audience is getting better and better. You guys aren't throwing out these cratering penny stocks to us. You're throwing out legit plays. And we went through the financials. We kind of went through the news, and then Mediocre and I offline and over the weekend talked about it some more. And Mediocre, I'll let you take it from here.
So on Sunday,
tell us what you said that night in the live stream to kick it off.
Oh, what I said in the live stream was I can make 10 grand on this play in a month. And
because we saw some promising stuff there, right?
Absolutely. The option
5-minute analysis,
really potent, exactly, which encouraged me because of that to do some real looking into. And
did it take you a month to make 10 grand on ASTS?
No, did not. I did it in a week, Tony.
A week? You got to be kidding me.
No, I got the receipts too.
All right.
I got the receipts for it.
Pull up the receipts. I'm going to throw up the chart while you're talking about it. Guys, we don't usually do these kind of, we just take our gains and move on because that's just how we roll. But Mediocre wanted to come talk about this one tonight because he did it in a week. He said what he was going to do, and he did it.
Yeah, and I want to tell you guys, like it's noticeable that people in the chat are they're putting up good tickers. They're paying attention, right? Like I noticed that, and I want to give you guys the kudos to yourselves, right? Like I've known Broke Ape for a long time. I didn't even know who put that ticker out. I actually thought it was somebody else, but I went to rewatch the video to make sure, and it was Broke Ape. And thank you, Broke Ape. I appreciate that. But
all right, now Mediocre people are going to look at the chart here and say September 5th, the stock was trading at $29, let's say, and all it did was go down, except for today. How did you make money on a stock that was basically trading flat, especially when you're just making pennies, Mediocre, with your stupid options trading?
Yeah, just pennies.
Pennies.
I'm a penny flipper.
Let's expose how clownish these people are that are criticizing options trading. Tell us about what you did.
So what I did was we did some DD. So we knew that they just had a 400 million offering. They needed to collect $400 million. We knew that. So the price had fallen drastically, which usually when that happens, there's some sort of recovery play. They had a launch that was coming. And then you also had Verizon commercials being played on Sunday for these football games for satellite cell phone service. So there was so much evidence to support a recovery, a bounce. So we took a position. We sold puts for an entry, which we would have gladly taken the shares. And I'll show you. I sold puts at 26.50. Let me pull that up a second. Hang on a second here. Let me get back to.
And what we're talking about here, guys, is the wheel strategy. If you're not familiar with the wheel strategy, I have a whole playlist on it. And we're always looking every weekend. We're looking for tickers. What are we going to do the wheel on next week? And this was for Mediocre, his leading candidate that he wanted to play this past 5 trading days, based on our discussions last week and our DD over the weekend. our further DD. Well, we don't kid around when we say always do your own DD. You guys throw something out, we might find it interesting, but we're going to look further into it. Are you ready,
Yeah.
Mediocre, for me to share this?
Yeah,
Not
that's
yet.
one.
Let's see.
Yeah, it should
All
be
right.
there.
Okay. Let me blow this up here. So you sold to open 28 puts on the 9th for 225, bringing
Yep.
in 6,200 immediate cash into your account.
Correct. Then I
That is
bought back.
step one of the wheel. Sell puts on a stock that you think is going to trade flat or that you wouldn't mind buying. So you said if you had to buy it, your put strike price was $26. And that Monday it opened up at 28.
Put. Yep.
All right. And then today you bought to close
I bought them back for 4 cents.
for 4 cents. So you kept the difference between 225 times 4 cents. So you paid out 112 to close. Net gain on that leg, 6,168. Mediocre, that's not $10,000. Are you a liar?
No, I'm not a liar.
All right. Tell us how you made up the difference.
Here's my other account. 2 accounts.
2 accounts. Same trade?
Same trade.
All right. So there you go. 4,000 profit on that one, $4,200. So $10,000 spick and span in 5 days.
Thank you, Broke Ape. Appreciate you, my friend.
Broke Ape gets a second round of applause for that one, Mediocre. Sometimes these live streams, people can make fun of them, Mediocre, because we're just trading options for pennies.
Just
but
pennies.
sometimes, guys, you can make a little bit of money by not listening to a channel who's only talking about one stock. That's all I'm going to say. And we're going to leave it at that. How you feel, Mediocre? That's a pretty good trade.
I feel good about it. I mean, it's just, I make money every week, Tony. You know that, right? But
I know. We should talk about it more, Mediocre, but I don't like dunking on people by over celebrating success. But I thought this one was particularly worth bringing up since you said that you would do it in a month and you did it in a damn week.
I know, it's crazy. And and I thought the person who brought it up in chat, who's actually, looking at trades and stuff like that, I thought that I wanted to thank him for actually bringing it up in the chat and giving me the opportunity to look at it for myself.
Yep. So thank you, Broke Ape.
And it shows the chat that we actually do listen to them. We're not just not listening to them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always looking for good plays. Sufyan says, could you please explain what happened at 2:37 p.m. in regards to AMC?
I didn't see it.
I wasn't watching AMC today, really. It closed at 496. Again, another $5 close weekend. Let me pull up the 5-minute. Are we talking about this? No, that's the end of the day. 2:37. Are you talking about Eastern time, Sufyan, which would be 1:37? Nothing happened on this stock. I don't even know.
I'm not sure what he's talking about.
There's nothing here. Nothing interesting at all. Not on volume, not on price action. It traded between 493 and 502 all day. Very boring day. Now, I do want to say in regards to AMC, people are blowing up their own minds trying to figure out why the stock is not moving while Cinemark and IMAX are getting bought up. And let me pull up my theater stock list. I don't own any Cinemark. I own some IMAX. Here's the Cinemark chart. It has obviously been on a tear. It broke through the supply zone, $13 up to 29. IMAX. I bought IMAX in June and set myself a 12-month price target of $21, and it ran up and hit that within a couple months. But these companies are profitable. This is what you have to, if you're beating yourself up, wondering why is AMC not moving, because they haven't announced a profitable quarter yet. They haven't announced forward guidance of profits for the next year. So, our next earnings call is going to be in November. I'm expecting a profitable quarter for this one that we're in. And maybe the narrative shifts once we lock in a profitable quarter at the end of this month. Maybe you start seeing some of these analysts covering their tail, or maybe they just wait. Maybe they just don't want to take a chance issuing any upgrades, and they wait till November and see what AMC has to say. But analysts are not in the business of hyping people up. Some of them are, but not any of the ones following AMC. They're the opposite. They're the most freaking ultra conservative analysts that I've ever seen. Same with GameStop. Michael Pachter, very, very conservative. So that's why we beat the analysts sometimes with our calls here on this channel and our DD, because we're watching this stock every day, and they're mostly only watching it once a month or once a quarter. So Sufyan, I don't know what your friend said over on the other YouTube channel, but I don't see anything interesting. I'm in AMC, by the way. I bought back in August at 420. I bought a little more last week, the 3rd, at 464. So that makes my cost average around 440. And then I own some GameStop too. I was tweeting about GameStop today. People were saying, oh, they're bringing in the big guns, mediocre, to talk down GameStop. Guys, I fucking own GameStop. So stop with the nonsense, you dorks. I own it at 1950. You can see I've been trading GameStop for years. You can see all my buys and sells here. Last time I traded it was August 5th to August 6th.
Tony trades GameStop more than I do, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah. I bought on this big dip on the 5th and then sold the next day. And then I didn't sell at the top. I don't ever say I sell at the top. I'm trying to get the best entry possible and then take a profit. Sometimes, a lot of the times, because I'm patient, I get pretty damn close to the bottom.
Tony, the GameStop dilution, right? You were watching it, paying attention to your chart, right? Walk me through what you've seen on your chart that made you want to pick up shares down there.
Yeah. So first of all, mediocre, they announced poor earnings, which I was kind of expecting. I mean, I wasn't beating the drum, dropping videos every day saying GameStop's going to tank, but I kind of, in my heart, felt like, they're on a downward trend on revenue. The pumpers of GameStop were completely hyping up beyond reality trading cards and CandyCon controllers. These guys are just detached from reality, and they only know one thing, and that is pump GameStop every day. Even if they're going to be proven wrong, they don't fucking care. I actually care. And I've said a couple times leading up to earnings that these guys are going to be incorrect about the impact of trading cards. You guys, if you've watched my videos, you know that I said that. And that they're telling you that GameStop's going to earn $500 million this year on interest, while I'm telling you they're going to earn $40 million this quarter. And what did they earn? 39.5. I mean, I was within $500,000 of being correct. How did I do that? Common sense.
DD?
A calculator.
How much?
It's not hard.
How much DD did you look into on trading cards?
Days, mediocre. Days and days and days. Almost a week.
I know you did.
So they're pumping up trading cards. It tells me that they're not actually doing any DD. They're looking at the website. Oh, they've got 4,000 trading cards on there. This is going to be great. No, it's actually not, because 4,000 is irrelevant. And the margin, the profit margin dollar-wise they're bringing in it's a rounding error for GameStop. It's minimal, and they're going to need to have a much bigger footprint in that business or churn more volume. And they're just not. And then you have the inventory, which is a small inventory cost, but if you buy the wrong cards and they don't sell, then the value of that inventory falls. So that's some inventory risk. But I'm not going to complain about that for GameStop because the amount of inventory they have dollar wise is a rounding error. It's irrelevant. It's good of them to attack different revenue streams. I give them kudos for that. But these guys pumping GameStop are completely exaggerating the impact of trading cards to GameStop's revenue. So that's about all I said. You know, I feel like the GameStop pumpers are hyping this up too much, and they're probably going to be incorrect. That's the nicest way I could say it. So I didn't play GameStop running into earnings mediocre because I felt like it was going to crash, but it would have been a good play from August 28th, buy it 1973 and run it up to 25. That would have been a good trade. I didn't do it. I should have, but I was wanting to get my buy-in a little lower in this supply zone. I mean the demand zone. You see what I have on the chart here? Oh, he left. I was wanting my buy-in a little bit lower in this green box. And so that didn't happen on the 28th. And so I missed the trade. And then I'm not going to chase it up because if they don't have earnings, it's overvalued in this price range. But we did get a pretty good dip here after the earnings and the announcement of the dilution. And so I bought some on the 11th at 1950, just a little bit. And if there's no news from GameStop, this is my DD, my expectation. If there's no news from Roaring Kitty or GameStop itself over the next 3 months while we're waiting for the next earnings, I would expect we're going to trend down. There'll be volatility. There'll be interesting things going on, but I'm going to be patient. And I think that I can buy more cheaper than 1950, which is why I didn't load the boat at 1950. But in case I'm wrong, I've got a marker here in the play at 1950. Maybe there'll be a little pop if they announce next week that they're done with the 20 million share dilution. At some point, when companies announce that dilution's done, maybe that day, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks later, you get the price starting to recover. So we'll just have to see. All I'm looking for is a safe, profitable trade, safe entry, profitable exit.
That was the filing I was looking for on SEC Edgar for ASTS because that hasn't came out yet either. So I would expect that they're done now that it's trading at 30. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. How many shares was ASTS selling mediocre?
They were trying to raise $400 million. So my calculation at $25 was 19 million shares, something like that.
And let me pull ASTS back up real quick. What is the current float? 175.
I can't remember.
Free shares outstanding 275. Free float 138. So about you said 20 million shares.
Yeah, around there. Probably less because I'm sure they got more money for them.
Yeah. So maybe 10 to 15%. And when did they announce that? Do you remember?
It was the week before, not this week, the week before.
Okay.
I believe.
All right. So we'll keep an eye on that, but you're out of the trade now. So.
Oh yeah, I'm out, but I would still expect that to have happened. No.
Yeah. On a run up like that, I would expect it to.
Exactly.
All right. Before we wrap it up here tonight, if you guys have any tickers you want us to look at, throw them out in the chat. I saw somebody ask me about one. Chrismo says, all I made on my pennies was another $500 this week. Booyah. $500 works.
Nice.
Chrismo. Sparky says Max Payne was 5. It's going to gravitate there yesterday and today. What's up, Sparky?
How you doing, Sparky? Good to see you.
Todd says, mediocre, are you going to continue the wheel on ASTS?
To be totally honest with you, no, I'm not.
Did
I'll
you
tell.
notice that the IV was changing on ASTS mediocre after you got in?
I really didn't look at it, but it probably is because it's kind of getting to that point, in my opinion, right? Um, the other thing is if you look at shares outstanding um, versus what the share float, it's getting pretty close to not that many shares left,
Yeah.
and that tells me, for a company that's not profitable yet, they're going to be profitable as long as the technology works, right? They're counting on that technology to work, but it's not it's not definite that it's going to work yet, right? We're still waiting to find out. I think it probably will work, but in case it doesn't work, right, they're going to need some money, don't you think, to continue on the program to see if they can't make it work if something bad happens, is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know where I'm going with this, don't you, Tony?
I do. I do.
I think that there could possibly be a reverse split, and so that's in the back of my mind. Do I want to continue on down this path? If I can see that with maybe it doesn't happen, maybe I'm wrong, but that's my opinion, and it seems more risky now than it was last week. That's just my opinion of it.
One Stop Print Shop says, check out Pets, which is Pet Med Express Inc. They were a failing business selling pet medicine. They acquired a pet e-commerce site that's profitable. So I have the chart here for ticker Pets, PETS. It is down since the beginning of 2023 from $17 down to $2.90, but on a recovery for the last few weeks. Let's put up, I see that it looks like they're not making a profit yet, but let's pull up the ticker and look a little further. Analysts, any analysts covering this thing, they have it marked as a sell. How many analysts? 2 analysts. Price target of 350 from Lake Street. That is the most recent target. And Aaron Wright over at Morgan Stanley has a price target of 350. What is it trading at? 359. Let me actually show you the screen. Stop screen sharing, add screen. This one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Annually, revenue is flat. Net income has been on a downslope since 2018 with a negative annual in the last 2 years. Now let's look at the quarterly and see if anything is changing. He says that they bought a e-commerce website. I do see that it looks like the most recent quarter they booked a profit. So that is the kind of turnaround that we want to see on these beaten down stocks. So this could be one mediocre worth doing a little bit of look into. Are the analysts correct that it's going to top out at 350 over the next 12 months, or is there an undiscovered gem here?
Let me write it down and we'll look at it this week.
PETS. Yeah, we'll need to look into this one this weekend. Let's look at a couple of other things before we do that, though. Balance sheet has 45 million. Looks like they've been burning off some cash. Working capital 77 million on current assets, 58 million current liabilities. Positive working capital, positive shareholder equity, comparing total assets to total liabilities. And have they been diluting any? Let's see. Looks like they've been paying a dividend. Wow, that's unusual. Doesn't look like they've been diluting. So yeah, it might be worth looking into mediocres. We're going to need to dig
I got it written down.
into this one a little bit more. Yeah, they've been holding steady at around 20.3, 20.5 million shares. So
I'm gonna
no
pull up the
massive
chart real quick so I can look at the option chain real quick. Hang on.
Yeah, pull up the options chain. I just want to look at the. I mean, 375 a share of net income is not bad on that low of a float.
PETS, right?
Yep. And I'm going to pull up dilution tracker. I'm sure it says that they're fine, but while we're here all together, let's just look at that.
So they only have monthly options. That's the problem.
Okay. So the company has 13 months of cash left, and there is no notations here about risk for dilution. You can see their historical float going back has been very flat. I would say right now it's a, if we're trying to enter it for a short-term trade, by short-term I mean under 12 months, it seems like based on the info we have right now that there is low dilution risk. 56% owned by institutions. That's pretty good. Maybe some institutions loading up on this thing early. I don't know. Well, I'll need to go back and look at that over time also. So yeah, I mean, that's an interesting one to dig into. Maybe not a great play. Maybe just an undiscovered gem. We'll let y'all know if we find anything interesting worth sharing on that one. Aloha Stockland Trades. How you doing? Treetop says, if you haven't seen MMT yet, I got a tip from someone in the biotech space when it was at $2 to $5? MMT. Can you, I'm not coming up with a ticker for that one, just an ETF.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Tech We Love says, before DJT went down, a liquidity issue is what was guessed. Yeah, DJT is just dealing with a lot of issues, right? It's a news trading stock just based on Trump. There's no financial reason to own DJT. The finances are a loss. There's potential dilution from Trump hanging over the stock's head, and you should only play it for volatility if you get a good entry, or if you think that there's going to be some news that you can buy it at the perfect time right before news comes out. Other than that, there's no analysis I can give you that says DJT is a good buy. SMMT, he says for this ticker.
SMMT.
Oh yeah, Summit Therapeutics. That one's come up from time to time over the years, as I recall. But I haven't looked at it in a long time. What is the profile of this company? Biopharma, focus on the discovery, development, and commercialization of patient, physician, and caregiver medicinal therapies. What a generic statement that is.
The chain is pretty good.
Okay.
It's got implied volatility, but also only has monthlies.
I'm not a biopharma expert. I think there are some biopharma experts that give you much better analysis on this than me, like Martin Shkreli. I know a lot of people hate Martin, but you want someone's opinion on a biopharma stock. He live streams from now every now and then. Go pop this ticker in his chat. So I just want to say, I don't know anything about these therapies that there is on their profile, but let's put up this window and look at a couple things.
It looks like it has a higher implied volatility because the stock moved, but it's got monthly options. So,
is this correct? $2. They had a big spike back in late May, and now trading at $33. Holy smokes! And they're still losing money. Mediocre. So why? Why is the question to ask.
Treetop says it has a product that may produce Kitundra.
I can hear you, but barely.
Put up Treetop's comment.
product that may produce Keytrude, the number one selling pharmaceutical drug in the world. Okay. Again, I just am too dumb to even know what that is.
Yeah, me either. I'd have to do some serious research if
There's
that's
a couple of, I follow a lot of stocks. I follow a lot of segments, sectors of the industry. Biopharma has not been one that I've religiously ever paid attention to. I dabble in it from time to time and usually end up making bad decisions, mediocre.
I'm on the same page as you. I've lost more money in pharma stocks than I care to even discuss.
I got lucky back in 2020, 2021 with some COVID bets, but mostly if I'm going to be in a biopharma, I'm going to be in it for like 10 or 15 minutes on a
Yep.
day trade. All right. So, yeah, there was some news at the end of May. I'm not going to read through all of this, but let's look very quickly at their financials and see what's up.
What else we got?
I want to look at SMMT's financial just real quick.
Oh, go for it. I'm just looking in the chat. Anya wants us to look at UEC afterwards.
No revenue for this company, mediocre. This is what we call a pre-revenue company, which already is scary. Like you're literally making your bet on the fact that they have something, a drug they can sell or a therapy that they can sell, which is fine if you want to do that. I don't care. But why? How did they go from making money all these previous years to nothing recently? Balance sheet 28 million, current assets 328, current liabilities 140. They're not in terrible shape on their balance sheet. They have positive shareholders equity and cash flow is losing money operationally, obviously, since they don't have income. So, I mean, you're just basically making a bet on their product. And I've said that before on pharma companies. The reason I don't trade most of them is I'm not smart enough to know which ones to bet on, mediocre.
Yeah, I don't know either. I've tried it, and I've been unsuccessful more than I have ever been successful. So.
Maybe one day when I have time, I can start becoming a pharmaceutical expert. But there's so many companies, and I think if you want to be a pharma expert, you should specialize in that. That should be the only sector you work for your trading and become a fucking expert on all of these companies and the whole process of bringing products to market. And you can probably do very well. But for someone like me that doesn't follow this sector closely, I'm just like someone who doesn't know how to swim getting thrown in the ocean. Best I
Get
can do
on
is
it,
day
Tony.
trade it.
Learn it. Learn it. You gotta be.
I
You
wouldn't
gotta be
mind
the
learning
knower
it.
of all.
I wouldn't mind learning it. I just don't have time right now.
I'm just busting.
Once they're making money, mediocre, and I can see how the company's doing. I can trade it, but all the big money was already made before that. The people buying in at $2 that got to ride it up to 30 in 3 months. They made the big money for being smarter than me.
Yeah.
I'd be lucky to make 31 to 35 from
Exactly.
31 to 35, because I'm getting in at the boring time.
I'll
You
let
just got to
take-
have a win ratio that exceeds your bad prediction ratio. Analysts have price targets between 19 and $30. So I don't know. I don't know what to say on that one other than not really my area of expertise to be commenting on. Sufyan says, Tony, did you ever consult the short squeeze specialist? He's still in jail as far as I know, Sufyan.
Oh, fuck. Good thing you can't come to the United States, huh?
Yeah.
He hates me, dude.
Hallie says you're betting on the patent. Right, Hallie. You're with these pharma companies, many of them, you're betting on a patent or you're betting on a product being released and approved to the public. And without spending considerable amount of time, I'm the wrong person to ask about pharma companies. All right, mediocre. I think we're going to wrap it up here.
Sounds good to me.
My wife is home. I need to go chit chat with her. Thank you for your time tonight, guys. Mediocre,
Yes,
thank
thank
you
you.
for sharing your story of ASTS. Broke Ape, thank you to you for calling that out to us and
Absolutely. And you guys
allowing us
keep
to
it
do
up.
a deeper dive on it on our own over the weekend. And for those of you that are in the Discord, keep on, if you got plays, you don't have to call them out on a live stream. I'm there every day in the Discord. You got a hot one that you want us to look at, throw it in the daily hot stock chat, and I will do a quick look at it, and we'll talk about it if it's one worth playing that day or that week. So remember that the value of community is more eyeballs, more discussion. Mediocre, you got any closing thoughts?
I 100% agree with you, right? Like I can't look at every single ticker. I didn't even know about that ticker until the live stream the other night, and it gave me a chance to do some due diligence on it, and you as well. That's that's the benefit of community, right? Um, so, I mean, you don't have to listen to everything that somebody says or whatever. I encourage you to do your own due diligence so you understand, but you know, it's good to bounce off these ideas off of people. I enjoy that. I want to
Yeah,
thank the chat for participating.
and we're not always right on our plays, mediocre, right?
No, not
We're
always.
not always right, but we're trying to, create a community where we have more winning trades than losers and more percentage gainers than the ones that we miss on, so that over time you're stacking up gains in your portfolio to at least beat the indexes
Yep.
at a minimum. I mean, I know a lot of y'all want to be millionaires next Friday. We're trying to take most of my portfolio is blue chips. I have a boring part of my portfolio that I rarely talk about except in the Discord. And then we have the speculative trades that I use to juice my gains if I'm wise about it, beyond the index. But what was I going to say? We're trying to manage risk wisely, but still have fun trading here every day.
Absolutely.
I guess that's the bottom line. And for God's sake, don't put all of your money in one stock.
No, it's good. Yeah, and it's good to
Have a
learn.
little bit of diversity. There's all sorts of risk out there. And the worst risk is having everything riding on one play. You're literally putting your life in the hand of one stock.
And part of the
Stretch
fun
your
is
wings a
going
little
to
bit. Stretch your wings. And guess what? Diversification does not mean, Tony, I own 5 meme stocks. You're diversified in the highest risk plays on the market. Like, find some profitable companies or find a different sector. There's so much out there to learn. Check out some of my videos on the educational playlist. Check out the wheel strategy playlist, and leave us some comments. Join the Discord. Be part of the discussion. Discord link is in the video description. And mediocre, I'm gonna bid you adieu. Are you going to be around this weekend?
Periodically, but not like I normally am.
All right.
I got.
All right, ladies and gents.
family.
Thank you very much. We will see you on the next one. I will be around this weekend, although we've got Usher concert tomorrow to attend. So other than that, I'll be around doing my normal work and some studying. I'm trying to catch up on studying for the Series 65 because I'm hoping to take it by the end of this month or at the latest mid-October. If I can get caught up, I'll be on track for end of this month, but I might have to push it out 2 weeks. It's only a self-imposed deadline. Like I could take it next year for all it matters, but I want to get the studying done and get it over with. so that people can say I'm a shill for yet another reason. He added another certificate to his resume, mediocre, but this guy knows nothing.
Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Just a cowboy
Just a failed
clown
actor. Failed actor and a cowboy clown.
with a big red nose.
All right, ladies and gents, y'all have a good night. We love you. Take care.
Good night.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today.